What is up, all you people? As you can see, we're in front of the truck, so that means we are working on the truck. We're to a point on this truck where we could potentially drive it down the road. So I really want to get to where it's legal and we can take it on drives into town and have people look at us, because this is a sweet looking truck and I want to show it off. But we need lights. So today I'm going to be starting on the lights and see how that goes. This will be a process for me. I've wired an engine, I can do that, but I've actually never wired a chassis with lights and everything like that. So it's going to be a learning experience for me, and maybe you guys will learn something along the way as well. So let's get into it and I'll show you guys kind of what I'm thinking. So I've probably been sitting here the last like 20-30 minutes just staring at the inside of this. You know, when you're just kind of lost and don't know what to do and you're hoping the truck just tells you what to do. But I think I've figured it out. So here we have some ABS plastic I bought, and this is where I'm going to be mounting my fuse block and relays and all that. So I've been trying to figure out where I want to mount this in the truck that's out of sight but easy to get to, and I think my best option is going to be underneath the dash here, just kind of up in this corner. So I've been figuring out how I'm going to mount it so that it looks clean without drilling more holes and all that, and I think I figured out a way. So let's get that going, get this mounted. We can start worrying about the fun stuff. So I got the fuse panel all installed and where it's going to be. Should sit under here. It'll be underneath the dash, so you shouldn't really see it. I have my main power wire going from the battery up through the cab there. So now that that is installed, I can now start running my power wires to my ignition, gauges, lights, all that. I got my gauges all installed in the gauge cluster over here. So we have the voltage, temperature, oil pressure, mile per hour, and this is a GPS mile per hour gauge, so that's kind of cool. Tachometer and fuel. And then I have all of the wiring stuff over here. And then we have over here the dash from the original Loadstar that we'll be using. We like this one because there's just a lot less going on with it. The other one has a lot more knobs and levers and stuff, and we just want the clean and simple look. So we're going with this one. But I'm gonna start running wires and hopefully get this thing lit up. little update of where I'm at. You see some wires, got them on the dash. So I have the accessory wiring done, which will run like my gauges and things like that inside the dash. And then I also have the ignition done. So let's test it real fast. Here is the accessory wire. No power. Turn the switch to accessory. Oh, we got power, so that's working. And then technically the truck should start. Would you look at that? Except for the key doesn't turn it off because it's a mechanical fuel shut off. So we'll have to have a pull lever in there. So yeah, we'll have to have a pull cable inside the cab for this, just because it's an old truck and I don't feel like installing a solenoid to do it. So we'll just have a little plunger inside of the truck that we'll kill it with. But sweet, it's working. I know for a lot of people wiring can be super confusing, and if you look at it as a whole it can be, because you just see all these wires going everywhere. But I like to think of it as a map. You know, those pieces of paper with all the lines on it that we used to have before everyone had cell phones? If you look at a map of, let's say, a state, you see all these lines, you're like, holy cow, that's a lot of lines. And it's similar with wires, because you look at a wiring harness and you're like, that's a lot of wires. But if you think about it individually, and each wire has its own job, just like each road or line on a map has its own job. It connects cities. So you're pretty much connecting these little cities with wires acting as roads. So if you break them down individually instead of looking at them as a whole, it's a lot easier to do. So just, well, if you're doing a wiring job, just say, hey, one wire at a time. All right, wire to the starter, done. Ground wire, done. And just do it one at a time, then you don't get overwhelmed with it. But so yeah, I have about 4 wires down, a bunch more to go. Well, I've been working on the gauge cluster harness. I pretty much just took all of the individual harnesses and made them into one harness, tying everything together that has the same input wire. So here we have the orange wires, which they all have the orange wire. They are the you connect them to the dimmer switch, so that way you can adjust the brightness of the gauges and they will come on when the headlights come on. And then of course we have our power wire, which is our 12-volt input, and then we have our ground, which will be grounding. So everything that's left here on these ones are the signal wires, which will go to the individual sensor. And then this is the RPA, or the mile per hour gauge, which you can do the headlights and the blinkers into as well. So I don't know if I'll be doing the blinkers. I'll do the high beam, low beam, but I don't know if I'll do the blinkers or not. We'll see. And then over here I spent a long time trying to get this headlight switch going, and I came to find out that not all the features are working on it, so I just ordered a new one. So I'll have to wait for that to come in. But other than that, I didn't get much more done in here, but I'm gonna try and throw the gauge cluster in kind of temporarily and see if we can get some light action going. So for those of you that don't know, I am actually a farmer by trade, I guess. And right now we're in the middle of harvesting our almonds. I'm an almond farmer. And so I've been in the shop the last couple of days, because really all my job right now is to move the trucks forward when the nuts are full underneath the elevator. That way it can get filled up evenly. Then there's a pickup crew that we hire out to pick up all the almonds, because we're not really big enough to have all of our own equipment. So like yesterday, there's only one pickup crew out, and so in between them coming to dump their trucks, I was in the shop a lot and I was able to get more done. But they have 2 pickup crews actually today, and so I don't have as much time in the shop as I did yesterday. But so yeah, in case you guys are wondering, this is what my real job is. Cars and trucks are just a side gig for me, so it's kind of cool. Maybe I'll show you guys around. So this is the elevator. They come in with their nut carts, and the nut carts have a side dump. So they dump into here, and it gets conveyed up and dumped into trailers. This takes out all the sticks and dumps them out the side. So pretty cool to watch. So yeah, the guys running the carts will tell me when to move forward, and then when this cart's full, trailer's full, we move to the next one. Alright, so I have the gauges kind of temporarily mocked in here, and I have power and ground to them. So let's see if we have any luck. Oh, we have something. Alright, so it says we have 12.5 volts, so that works. Here we have a lot of oil pressure, but I'm sure there's no sensor hooked up to it, so I'm sure that's weird. Here we have some mileage going. Weird. Here we have hours, 0. Nothing's hooked up to there yet, but huh. Wonder if that's weird. Oh, so every time you turn it on. Huh. I don't know what that's about, but sweet. We are making progress. My job is pretty much to just wait until they tell me to move forward. Pretty easy. So I just look back the whole time. I think they got a little distracted back there. I just spilled a few nuts. Well guys, I think this is where I'm going to end this video. Got a good start on the wiring. Today I wasn't able to work on a lot. I was dealing with harvest, but we made progress, got it started, and just getting it started, that kind of gets it out of my mind, because when I don't work on things, I just go over them over and over, especially at night. So it's nice to get something started and then I can get it out of my mind and I sleep a lot better. So I need to wait for a new headlight switch that's coming, and then do the lights, and then there's some other things that are coming, and then we can really get the lights done on this, and then we can drive it, because we want it to be legal and have lights, and then we can actually do some driving, so that'll be fun. So stay tuned for the next video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe so you can see when the next video comes out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.